Our souls are positioned in the universe, ready to pop into a forming mass of cells that we call a body. There's a sweet tale that some people tell their little ones about how parents all stand in a line in the place where we are before we're born, and we each walk down the line and we choose our parents from the lineup. Now, whether that's true or not, I'll never know, but I kind of like the idea that each of our souls chose the people who could teach us the lessons we needed to learn, good, bad, and otherwise. Welcome to Calm in the Chaos Interfaith Center, where sometimes we just muse into the void about mysteries we know little about. Where souls come from and where they go is one of those mysteries. Enough people in my family and circle of friends have died in the last 18 months to lead me into that thought. Where did we come from and where are we going? The going part has been documented in sacred writings for a long time now. Christians speak of heaven and hell, Buddhists speak of enlightenment, Hindus and Sikhs tell of samsara, Taoists believe in reincarnation, and Zoroastrians teach about the judgment at the Shinvat Bridge. There are similarities in each of these teachings in that most afterlife beliefs, including how one lives here on earth, influence greatly what happens after death. Let's explore some of the details that set each faith tradition apart and see where you land on the continuum of afterlife beliefs. Zoroastrians rely heavily on what one has done in this life. If a person has created a good soul by doing good deeds when alive, then when standing at the Shinvat Bridge, awaiting judgment, they are assured that a beautiful maiden will guide them into the house of song, which is akin to heaven. If the person has created mayhem and harmed others with a host of evil deeds, they'll be met by a witch and they will be falling into the house of lies, which is akin to hell. If a person has straddled the line with both good and bad behavior here on earth, they may be stored in an area called Hamistakan. They will wait there for the final upheaval of the world, a cleansing of everything, and then they will move on. In the end, however, all souls will unite with the divine creator. Did you hear similarities with your upbringing in that story? Zoroastrians are one of the smallest religious groups of people on the planet, with just about 15,000 of them in the United States. Something to think about. Taoists do not all agree on an afterlife. Some believe in reincarnation, some believe we're reunited with the Tao, which will gain us spiritual immortality, and yet others believe that the body dying simply gives us another dimension to carry on as we have been. Huh. Some Taoists believe in ancestral spirits having a say in what happens to us. What would your ancestors say about your life? Gives me pause, something to think about. Our Hindu neighbors believe that our souls are on a continuum of dying and being born again, dying again, being born, and so on. How we go through this process is informed by our actions when we're here. Some people call it karma. Now, karma can be positive or negative. Karma is a Sanskrit word meaning an action. When we behave with love and when our intentions lead to positive outcomes, positive karma builds up in what is essentially a soul bank. Likewise, Evil deeds and harmful actions deposit negative karma in the bank. We must come back in mortal form over and over until we burn off or work off the bad karma. Karma is not to be seen as a punishment, but more of an opportunity for spiritual growth. We all can benefit from that. I know everybody I know certainly can, and me included. The goal in Hindu lives is to reach a liberated state from that cycle of birth, death, rebirth, and that is called moksha. When this state of moksha is finally reached, the soul will be reunited with the divine again. Are you hearing similarities here? Hindus may perform funeral rites and other ceremonies to help our souls transition. Now, there's not only one belief of afterlife among our Jewish neighbors, there are several. There's a belief that dead people will be physically resurrected during the Messianic age when there will be a global peace brought about by a Messiah. Some Jews believe in a state of being very close to God after death. Some believe in the mystical path of Kabbalah, and they believe in reincarnation. There's a wide variety of afterlife ideas among our Jewish neighbors. Reincarnation is the afterlife belief held by many Buddhists. The cycle of being born, dying, and being born again is called samsara. Karma comes into play here, as it does in Hinduism, with our actions during each rebirth, determining what our next life will be like. Eventually, we gain all of our lessons, we work off our negative karma, and we enter into a state called nirvana. Nirvana offers freedom from all suffering, and it allows the soul to remain in a state of pure wisdom. I'm hearing similarities yet again. Sounds like heaven. All of these afterlife states offer us hope that if we live our lives from a place of compassion to others and trying to remove desire and fear, we will have a soft place to land. Discussing where our souls have been before they were attached to our current bodies is much more difficult. Now, if you believe in reincarnation, your soul may have been in other mortal bodies before this one, learning lessons each time to try to work off accumulated bad karma. It's not hard to find practitioners who will lead us through what are called life regressions, revisiting our past lives and undoing some of the hurt from them. And for some of us, this is unimaginable, but for some people, it works. If we didn't go through a life, death, life process, where were our souls before now? Our neighbors who are creationists believe that souls do not exist until after conception and then are placed in the baby's body before birth. This could be a handy argument when the topic of abortion comes up. If the soul isn't even in the body of the fetus yet, is it a human? I know, I'm stirring the pot here, but it's worth thinking about. Where do you stand on the concept of a body and a soul being matched up? Some people believe that souls are living with God, whatever they believe that to mean, and are sent to earth for each new baby. And at death, the soul goes back home to God. My mother-in-law had a sweet saying that she taught everyone in our family. When a baby was born, she would touch her finger to that little divot on the top lip centered under the nose, and she would say, "Shh, don't tell anyone where you came from." Is there a soul sanctuary where we are all at peace, at home, living in the eye of the infinite divine? Some of the ancient Greek philosophers, including Plato, believed the soul was created before the body and that the soul also carries all the lessons that had been previously learned. Christians who follow a creationist path believe that at conception, God creates a new soul out of nothing and pops it into the body. This belief adds fuel to the stance on abortion that the bundle of cells that aren't formed into anything that resemble a human baby is still a human. In the non religious viewpoint of secularism, the soul is not part of a divine nature, but more of a consciousness, and therefore doesn't develop until the baby has reached a place in formation where it could have a life of its own outside the mother's body. All of this gives us pause to consider where we stand on the idea of a soul. Having a soul means feeling empathy, trust, sensing danger, feeling compassion and love. And in that light, I have to believe that animals have souls. What do you think? What do you think about our souls having been alive before this body and returning to a place where we're in the arms of grace and free from suffering? What belief about our souls comforts you when you attend a funeral or when you visit a newborn baby? I am a soul caretaker. I want you to nurture and love who you are. I want you to learn all the lessons you need to learn here so your soul can travel on to where it needs to be next. I trust in the spiritual realm of angels and deities that know more than I do about what my soul needs. They inform me of what I need by activating my intuition. They keep me on the right path by tapping gently on my conscience now and then. I believe in soul building, soul growth, and soul honoring. And I hope you do too. Blessings on all.